Yo, man, what is going on over there at Microsoft? I mean, we've talked about this for quite a while throughout the entirety of 2025, maybe even a little bit before, and then also, for just a little bit of a peek behind the curtain, okay, starting at the tail end of next month and heading into Christmas time, I might have some old content, I might have some evergreen stuff, so we could do, just an additional a video per day. I got some plans and stuff, okay, and one of those videos might actually be a little bit too out of date by the time that we come around on it because, yeah, long story short, Microsoft ended up betting on one horse. They decided to put all their eggs in one basket, but instead of watching that basket or properly maintaining that horse, they decided to take that Anton Chigurh cattle prod right to its dome and then flip over that basket of eggs to try to cover up all the blood. Because Game Pass is imploding in real time with them jacking up the prices 50%, all of their studios closing down, their games flopping spectacularly, raising the prices on hardware, losing stores, and apparently losing the two last big retail chains out there. What the fuck is happening? Couple that with the other rumors that they're just flat out getting out of the hardware business. Well, this right here isn't going to do anything to assuage those concerns as Microsoft addresses Target and Walmart Xbox sale rumors. Because, yeah, I've seen some pictures here in the past couple of days, and it doesn't look terribly rosy. It was recently claimed online that Target and Walmart are preparing to halt the sale of Xbox products. This tidbit surfaced mere days after it was reported that Costco had stopped selling the Xbox Series S and X consoles. Well, I showed you guys a few videos back, not a couple days, it's even a few weeks at this point in time, of just, Costco.ca, okay, the Canadian website that I have access to. The only thing that they're selling is an Xbox headset, which is just universal application, so you can use it on literally anything. But yeah, I've been to Costco a few different times, and when it comes to consoles, well, you can get a Switch too. You can get an original Switch. You can even get a PlayStation 5, but Xbox Series S or X, they aren't there at all whatsoever. You might have some peripherals, okay? You might be able to get a controller, but as for a console, haven't seen anything, but now that they're starting to stock up on Christmas stuff, I might see a bundle there, but if I see a PlayStation bundle and no Xbox Series S bundle, and I don't even know what game they'd try to shuffle out with it, I'll let you know one way or another, because it'll be conspicuous with its addition or with its absence as well. But however, after a few cursory calls around Target and Walmart stores revealed that wasn't the case, Microsoft came out and offered clarity on the topic, and no, Target and Walmart are not halting the sale of Xbox consoles and games. At least that's what they're saying. But okay. Latest round of rumors, yes, claim that Target and Walmart, two of the United States' biggest retailers, were preparing to shut down the sale of Xbox products in stores nationwide. It took a few minutes on the phone with stores and representatives to determine that wasn't the case in some areas, but then Microsoft came out with a concrete statement handed to Windows Central. Target and Walmart, among other retailers, remain committed partners for Xbox consoles, accessories, and games. And like I said, I've seen a couple of posts of a lot of shelves being emptied. Okay, not so much like clearance merchandising being put up or anything like that, but a conspicuous lack of just sheer product. And in fact, if there were any Xbox branded signage that was up there, it was kind of holding on to PlayStation and Nintendo products. And so we have been discussing, especially recently, what is the future for Xbox? Because, well, okay, on one hand, you just released a handheld console, but then on the other, nobody's talking about it a couple of weeks later, and nobody was even recommending it because of its incredibly high price point and its very lackadaisical feature library. And then when it comes to, big ticket releases towards the end of the year, leading into the holiday season, what do you got? Outer Worlds 2? Okay, cool. You wanted to try to launch your $80 price tag for your AAA games, but then you ended up having to walk that back, and nobody's excited for the second upcoming flop out of Obsidian Studios this year. It was already a follow-up to a game that kind of crashed and burned in people's public sentiment, so it's a bold strategy that you want to lead into the holiday season with that. But next weekend, we're going to be getting an insight into what could potentially be the last-ditch effort for Xbox to drum up any positive word of mouth. Because next weekend, you got Halo World Championships. You have the newly rechristened Halo Studio saying that, we're going to have a deep dive into the future of the series. It's been long rumored that it's going to be another remake of Combat Evolved. Fantastic. That's just going to be the campaign, and it's going to have a very strong focus on visuals because we're going to be running Unreal Engine 5, which has been so reliable for throughout this year, producing high-quality graphics. But all of that comes under the specter that Microsoft is on shaky grounds in regards to gaming. You've had what? How many thousands of people laid off across Xbox studios? How many different studios in particular have been shut down? How many games have been canceled or just delayed into oblivion? You got the Perfect Dark remake, which ended up being vaporware for all intents and purposes. You got the long rumored Fable reboot being pushed off until at least 2027. What's the future of Gears of War? Another remake of the other two games in the original trilogy? Does the Coalition even want to continue the story? Do they even want to put out a Gears 6? I think the only brand that is doing quote-unquote fine is Forza. But to be fair, the last gaming company that decided to bet the farm on something that goes fast ended up going out of business, which could end up being Xbox when it's all said and done. Because the Halo franchise, I mean, there's always going to be people out there, myself included, that hold on for hope beyond hope, because this is a franchise that I've spent thousands of hours in, and I just really want to be good, man. It's one of those nostalgic franchises that, well, hell, thanks to the advent of the Master Chief Collection, I could just pop on in any given time and play a campaign mission, hop on for a couple of multiplayer matches, and it's still as great as I remember. But that's a repackaging of games that are now approaching, well, because theoretically you've got another remake of Combat Evolved for the 25th anniversary. You've got games that are, of the first three Halo games approaching 20 years old, because I think 2006 or 2007 was when Halo 3 came out, and then Reach came out in 11. So yeah, we're quickly approaching to a time where it's been about 20 years since there's been a decent Halo game, and that's also selling like Reach short, because Reach is also phenomenal. But even though next week we're going to be looking forward to the future, we have to have an eye on the present and realize that, oh shit, things really aren't looking all that good. Okay, Halo Studios' 17-year veteran leaves the company with a mysterious warning, and they're not the only one, okay, because I'd like to go into this warning here after we also highlight that somebody else who has been fairly prominent, okay, the former Halo Studios chief of staff, Melissa Boone, who was a part of the big, rebranding video that we got last year. Was that when 343 became Halo Studios? But yeah, she was there with, her 343 rainbow hoodie, okay, talking about how big and how important Halo is as a franchise, with her pronouns in her bio and her long list of DEI work experience. And now you just move ahead to the current day, and all of a sudden she's a principal researcher at Riot Games. I mean, not for nothing, man. I think that's kind of a step down from being the chief of staff, and you just go over to be a number cruncher. That's interesting. But okay, yeah, even if you go back to this post here and you say, okay, did she leave or was she fired? Because if she was fired, the next Halo game is going to be lit, okay, and then just couple it with this Halo veteran, Glenn Israel, okay, a veteran of Halo Studios, previously 343 Studios, or Industry rather, with more than 17 years under his belt in the universe, has departed the company and shared an ominous message on LinkedIn. In the message, he warns others in the industry about staying strong and taking evidence. What the fuck are we talking about here? He also mentioned that he's not able to talk about circumstances beyond a minor post, but said that next year, when it's absolutely safe to do so, he'll expand on his story. Oh, what's happening next year? Do you have like a 90-day NDA or something like that, non-disparagement agreement? Or do you know something about the future of Xbox, or at least the future of Halo, the future of Halo Studios? Like, what's coming? So in the post on LinkedIn, Glenn Israel, former art director at 343 Industries, and that's one thing, man. Like, okay, Halo 4 sucked. Halo 5 made me give up on the franchise. I haven't even touched Infinite, but at least for some of the stuff that I see, like some of the art direction's good. I don't really like the whole Forerunner stuff, but that's an interesting design. So yeah, I won't say that he's without merit, okay? So as Post said, as of today, after 17 long years, I'm officially no longer contributing to the Halo universe. There is a little more than I can say at this moment, though I intend to share this particular story in its entirety when it's absolutely safe to do so next year. In the meantime, I have a message for anyone and everyone who needs to hear it. I know that the state of our industry seems dire, but never forget that you are free to choose. Interesting. No illusion of security, nor promise of wealth or fame or power is worth trading away your health, dignity, ethics, or values, and no one can force you to. So stay strong, take evidence when necessary, and find where you belong. As always, I'll be here if you need to talk. Now, we can take that in one or two directions. Either he knows the writings on the wall that he has a very strong constitution for what he believes Halo is, and the direction that they're taking this, he ended up becoming in conflict and then therefore relegated as being disposable. That's one direction. Or he just could be one of these suck-offs who was just going along to get along, and that he got shown the door. If this was any other company not owned by Microsoft, I would say it's the latter, but it could be the former, okay? Most likely that Israel finds himself under an NDA, yes, after leaving Halo Studios, which is common practice to ensure that for a time developers aren't discussing what they're working on and why they were let go or left the company. The post was published over a week ago at time of writing, but recently found its way into social circles. Recently in the Halo space, it was claimed that Combat Evolved's Remake was in co-development by Virtuous Studios and is potentially set to be revealed during World Championship next week. And so if he was alluding to a franchise that he has given, the better part of 2 decades towards being farmed out and slopified, I kind of understand the call for having a spine in the industry. And so if that's the only thing that we get, anything kind of concrete in that regards, coming out of World Championships next week, that'll definitely be a red flag, I would consider. And if there's nothing more than just simply, oh yeah, we're working on Halo 7, don't worry about it. If they got a little bit of a teaser in that regards, I mean, we got more from Perfect Dark, and that ended up getting shit canned. We recently got some leaked concept footage for that canceled Rare game that came out. Scalebound, how long was that in development? Like, the list goes on and on over at Xbox and Microsoft. I don't think that they're along for gaming. And if the Halo announcement is anything close to what we anticipate, which is highly and completely underwhelming, I think we can take that as a much more concrete sign that Halo is not long for this world and Microsoft is getting ready to wrap up their experiment in video gaming. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.